Fastify, but we'll see if this is going to work for you. So remember that with the study guide, the test tomorrow, you can use a flashcard, periods 1, 3, and 4. You may use it, turn it in with your name and class period on it for that chance to answer the extra credit question. Period 5, 6, and 7, you may use it in the test. You must turn it in after the test for the extra credit, 2 points. Put your name and your class period on the flashcard. You may write on both sides of the flashcards. James Madison is considered the father of the Constitution. He wrote most of the Constitution. He wrote the preamble to the Constitution, which states the objectives that they are hoping to achieve. Be familiar with the wording of the preamble, "We the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union." James Madison is also credited with writing all of the Bill of Rights, which we'll get to at the end. The Constitution is known as the supreme law of the land, which means that there is no law that is more powerful than what the Constitution has or what we deem to be constitutional. Article 1 of the Constitution is about the legislative branch. The purpose of the legislative branch is to make laws. Congress sits in the legislative branch with over 500 representatives. We have 100 senators from each state and over 435 representatives from the United States. House of Representatives is based on the population of each state. California has 53. To be a senator, you know how old you have to be, know how many years you have to have been a resident in order for you to serve a 6-year term. House of Representatives also know how old you have to be and how many years you have to have been a citizen to serve the 2-year term. Some of the powers of the legislative branch is they have the power to take an idea of a bill and make it into a law. They have the power to impeach a president, and they have a power to deny a president's Supreme Court appointment. They also have the power to declare war while they are not the commander-in-chief. Article 1, Section 3 talks about the role of the Vice President, and the role of the Vice President of the United States serves as the President of the Senate, but only votes when there is a tie. Article 2 of the Constitution is about the executive branch. The executive branch is the President, the Vice President, and the Executive Cabinet. A president serves a 4-year term and can serve up to 2 4-year terms. To serve as President of the United States, you must be a minimum of 35 years old, and you have to be a birthright or naturalized citizen of the U.S. The role of the executive branch is to enforce the laws created by or made by the legislative branch. We do not have a direct election in our democracy. Instead, we use the Electoral College that votes for the president. Every state has a minimum of 3 electoral votes, depending on your population and your House of Representatives representation. California, with 53 and 2 senators, we have 55 electoral votes. Some of the powers of the executive branch is they have the power to appoint a Supreme Court justice. They have the power or over the legislative branch where they can veto laws that legislative branch has made. Congress has the power to impeach a president for treason, bribery, or high crimes and misdemeanors. We've had 2 presidents voted for impeachment, Johnson and Clinton, but neither president was removed from office. We had 1 president that quit before he was impeached, and that was Richard Nixon. Our longest serving president was Franklin Delano Roosevelt, who served 4 terms before we made a change to the Constitution where we limited a president to serve 2. And our shortest serving president, William Henry Harrison, who sadly died after only 30 days. Know the term lame duck president, and that is where it is not with every president or at every term, but when an outgoing president is still in office after the November election, but before we have inaugurated a new president in January, that outgoing president has a period known as being a lame duck president when they don't have very much power. Article 3 of the Constitution is about the judicial branch. The judicial branch is the Supreme Court and the federal courts. That term of office is very unusual compared to the other branches. We don't have terms of office here. They don't run for re-election. They don't serve for a limited period of time. And we don't have a residency or age limits here. Their role in government is to interpret the laws, and they interpret these laws against the Constitution. So they check the laws that the legislative branch has made, and that the executive branch has enforced, and they make sure that those laws are constitutional. If they are ruled to be unconstitutional, we remove those laws. They get appointed by a president, they get confirmed by the Senate, and they never run for re-election. We don't want our Supreme Court justices making decisions popular that would get them re-elected. Last, we have the Bill of Rights and the amendments. The Bill of Rights is written by James Madison. That would be amendments 1 through 10. Those are the rights of the individuals that guarantee the rights against the president of against our government. Amendments, there's nothing in 1 through 10 that changed the wording of the Constitution. Amendments 11 through 27, though, have been added over a period of time and through our history, and they are the ones that go back and change the wording of the Constitution. So when we gave African Americans the right to vote, we changed the wording of the Constitution. When we gave 18-year-olds the right to vote, we changed the language of the Constitution. Amendment 26 is when the 18-year-olds got the right to vote. Study, use the practice quizzes, use Kahoots, use the study guide. Good luck, and you'll do fine on the test.